Hey there, Jen Hernandez, Loan with Jen. How long you are in a job or in the industry does matter. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Does it matter how long you're in an industry or on a job? The answer is yes. So we're going to go through a couple of things. Now, there's two types of loans. We've got some other videos about loans, the types of loans, and if you've watched those, you know that there's two types of loans. One type is conventional, and one type is FHA. So we're going to do conventional first. Conventional loan is the rules are made by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Again, go to the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Watch my video on conventional versus FHA. So let's say it's a conventional loan. Now, on conventional loans, they're actually a little more lenient on employment gaps and length of time in the industry. So the general rule for all loans is 2 years of employment. Now, it doesn't have to be in the same industry. So you might be a teacher and then you might go and change and be, I don't know, an admin at a company. That's okay. Gaps in employment are okay. They have to be explained and it has to make sense. Now, when the gaps are really, really long, again, they just need to make sense. So maybe someone has been a homemaker and been out with a child for a year or two. Those things can be explained and we can see that prior to that, that person was employed, for example. Changing jobs, one industry to the other, again, on a conventional loan, not a big deal. And also, if there's some people that come from another country, it's okay if part of the 2-year history is from the other country. We just need to be able to verify the income or verify earnings and the job in that other country. Okay, so that's something important to note. So that is a conventional loan. The last thing that I'll mention is when you earn bonus income, bonus commission, or hourly overtime income, there is a 2-year rule. So it gets a little dicey with if it's 2 years with the same employer. You need to make sure and talk to your mortgage professional. Usually it has to be 2 years with the same employer, but on conventional loans, which we're talking about, you can sometimes prove the history at job number 1 and use it in the average for job number 2. Not always, but a lot of the times if it's in the same industry. Okay, so again, get with your lender to make sure that they track down all that information. So we just went over conventional loans. Now we're going to go to FHA loans. So FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration. Those are the loans more sponsored by the government. Those are the loans that are more lenient on things like credit, debt to income. So the downside of that is that they're more strict on other things like employment history. So when somebody has changed jobs more than 3 times in a 12-month period, there's a red flag. It doesn't mean that it's on automatic denial, but things need to be explained for sure. It shows instability, and we're worried about someone being able to carry a job and being able to withstand the mortgage payment if they're changing jobs all the time. What if they have big gaps in employment, for example? So that brings me to gaps in employment. If someone is getting an FHA loan and they've had a gap in employment and not been employed for 6 months or more, then on the new job, they have to be employed for 6 months before we can close on the loan, and that's to reestablish stability. So that's really, really important on an FHA loan, okay? Now the rules for things like bonus, overtime, are pretty much the same as conventional, as I mentioned, to where you really need a 2-year history average. Again, case by case, if we're able to use a prior job history for bonus and income on the new job in FHA. It's a little bit more strict as far as that's concerned. Now, all in all, we've talked about FHA and conventional. The last thing that I want you to know is that whether it's an FHA or conventional loan, if you don't have a 2-year history because you were in school, we can use a diploma or a transcript to show you were in school, and the 2-year history is not required. Easy breezy. So Again, make sure to get with your local lender. If you're in Texas, call us and get pre-approved so you know which applies to you. Talk to you soon. Legacy Mutual Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity lender. The opinions expressed here do not reflect those of Legacy Mutual Mortgage.